Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 47 of Podcast of Five Rings, your source for enlightenment in the realm of video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode of Podcast of Five Rings releases Monday mornings on iTunes and Soundcloud, and topic by topic, day by day on YouTube, with the full video releasing on Friday. Catch updates about the podcast or for other news, give us a follow on your social media platform of choice. Listen in the description below. I'm your host, GM, and overseer of Podcast of Five Rings, Obsidian, joined tonight by the resident wildcard, Mal.
Yo.
You're going first, finally. Well, I mean, you've gone first a few times in the roll call. I'm just plugging you again here.
Just spin a little bit.
The wall that will not fall, Tetsuo.
Hi.
Hello. And the Dark Fortune Duelist Meta is not here. Yeah,
Tasty food.
Yeah, he's off trying food for his wedding. So, damn that man. He's so lucky. Yeah, I'm starving. Still tell you how my week. I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for work today. I've had short lunches all week because work has been complete hell. I've had to work 2 hours of overtime every day. I had to come in an hour early and leave an hour late.
I haven't been working at all this week.
Yeah, it's 10-hour days, but it's not that bad. It could be worse.
I took the whole week off and have lost my sense of time slightly.
Mal is lost in the ether.
Thursday.
It's like, oh yeah. We didn't really talk about topics either. I was freaking busy all day, so I didn't have much time to goof off in Discord. Or with other things. I had time to eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And drown in boxes and boxes of footwear. So what have you been doing with your week off?
I've been watching old anime.
Oh baby.
Playing old RPGs.
Oh baby.
I've been playing through Breath of Fire 4 again.
Yeah, we were talking about Breath of Fire, I think, while we were playing Pokemon last week, so...
Probably. I love it.
Yeah.
And I think Breath of Fire 4 is my favorite.
Yeah, 3 is the general consensus, is the best one that a lot of people talk about.
Yeah, it's really good too.
Yeah. It's the only one I've actually beaten. What about you, Tets? What have you been doing?
What's my favorite one of those? I don't know. I haven't played them.
No, what have you been doing with your week? Other than making corned beef, or wanting to make corned beef.
Actually, my buddy made corn. So this weekend, I'm just going to tell everybody because it sounds amazing and I'm so excited. My buddy's coming over and we're gonna watch Pacific Rim and then go see Pacific Rim 2 in theaters. So I'll probably talk about that next week.
There you go. I might end up going and seeing it.
But he's coming over and he did his own corned beef, but it wasn't done by last weekend when it was supposed to be. So he's going to bring it over, and while we're watching the first movie, we're going to throw it on my smoker, and we're going to do a smoked corned beef brisket.
Oh, nice.
Excited about that.
Sounds really good.
The series that I watch, the food YouTube channel, the one that they do looks amazing. I can only hope it turns out anywhere close to that.
Barbecue Pit Boys.
Yeah, I watch them way too much. I really should file them. I really should file them under the same header that Shokugeki no Soma is under for me, which is don't watch because your wallet will hate you afterwards.
Well, they actually show you how to cook on there. Shokugeki no Soma doesn't. They just pull these dishes out of their ass, basically.
I feel like that would make it more dangerous because then I'll be like, I want to try to do that with my own way, and then like I will come up with even worse stuff, and then it won't taste good. At least I know Barbecue Pit Boys is going to taste good.
Yeah, that's true.
If I do it that way, it might not taste good, and then I waste all of that.
They've never let me down. They won't let you down.
Not once.
They care about you too much. I've been playing Dragon Warrior while not suffering at work. I beat the first one, and I'm like a few hours, I think like 5 hours in the second one.
The original JRPG.
Yeah. It's a very short game. It's very dated, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of the game is where you save the princess, and then she like jumps in your arm. You have a little sprite where she's walking it, where you're carrying her around. Oh my god, The game is charming as crap. And of course, all the monster designs are classic. I'd only played through 8 before that, and I just remembered a lot of them. Was like, yeah, Akira Toriyama monster designs.
They've been using them since the beginning.
Yeah, so... And it's just interesting to play a RPG where you're like only one character, kind of.
Right, you can't die.
Yeah, lots of grinding as well.
Slimes are from that series, right? That's where Slimes are originally from. Okay.
They are adorable. So yeah, that's been my week.
I played that game too.
Man, I'm enjoying the heck out. 2 is just improves on everything too, so or at least the mechanic stuff.
And you'll get to 3, my favorite of those.
Oh baby! So we're just we're not drowning in our suffering. Well, Mal's not suffering. He's had the whole week off work. We're drowning in nostalgia. Tets is drowning in his corned beef and his thoughts of Pacific Rim. Mal and Breath of Fire, me and Dragon Warrior. So there we go.
Drowning in Pacific Rim yet. That'll be this weekend.
You're just dreaming about drowning in Pacific Rim. Your Mecha versus Kaiju, you get this.
I've also been looking at I'll talk about it in my topic, but looking at sci-fi RPGs. I know we talked about that last week, so prepping for.
He found one.
I almost said prepping for Mecha versus Kaiju, and I meant prepping for Pacific Rim. They're the same thing. Let's be honest.
All right, Mal, you're up first, so you go ahead and start with your talk.
All right. I was wondering if you guys had any sort of game or genre that you just feel like you should really be a fan of or enjoy playing, and you just can't get into it. Like maybe someone told you, like, hey, you should really check this out. It's your kind of thing, and you just can't make it work for you.
So I'm ready for this because I've already said it twice.
Go on, SpongeBob.
Fantasy RPGs. Like Breath of Fire, Dragon Quest. Like I want to enjoy them and I want to like them, and I know that I feel like I should, and I don't. And JRPGs, I guess turn-based JRPGs in general, but specifically those that have the fantasy flair, even Final Fantasy games,
Have you tried to play stuff like The Witcher or Dragon Age or stuff like that?
Loved The Witcher. I didn't get very far in Dragon Age. Witcher 3 I played a good amount of time on. So I don't know if it's I don't think it's the turn-basedness, because I do enjoy
strategy games or turn-based ones of those.
And some of the more recent like Digimon Cyber Sleuth, which is again a turn-based. I mean Pokemon. They're both turn-based RPGs, but those I'm fine with. And I think it has more to do with the play like the way you have to play JRPGs aren't the way that I would like to approach things, I guess. I don't know, I really don't have a reason why I don't enjoy them.
We talked about grinding before too, and you usually have to grind a little bit in JRPGs, so. And
that might be part of it, because again, like Pokemon, very quickly you tend to get overpowered, and you don't really have to grind unless you're, doing like a Nuzlocke or something.
You grind, but the grinding is a lot quicker in Pokemon than it is in other games, or so it feels like to me. Especially later on when you get EXP share and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know that I ever really, even in Pokemon, spent time okay, I gotta get up to this level before I face this gym or something.
You might grind a few levels on one guy, maybe, just because he's lagging behind. That's about it. It's never your whole party.
Yeah, I guess if you want to train up a specific Pokemon.
Trying to get them to evolve or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really think I ever did. Is what it is. Maybe it is the grind, and random encounters also kind of drive me nuts, if only because I can't count on them. But
you just gotta learn that RNG manipulation, bro.
Start
step counting.
Either if I can see them, or if it would be like every 5 steps you get, or the number essentially.
Yeah.
Not 5 steps. God,
I
that
mean,
would drive
you
me
could
nuts.
try something like the Tails, where you can see
Yeah,
enemies.
that's what I was about to suggest. I was like, you should try Tales if you want to try to get into a JRPG series, because one, the encounters aren't random. You can see them on the world map and in the dungeons, and two, it's not turn-based. It's action. It's more almost like fighting game, kind of combat, where you have combos and stuff.
There are some JRPGs that I do enjoy. It's just, I think it's the turn-based when you have to grind and tense. Like, going to use the Pokemon analogy, like whenever I'm walking through the tall grass, it's like, is something I don't want to put up with a fight right now? Is something going to happen? Oh my god. And so I kind of get like that tense bit. So sometimes it's just like, I just want to get where I'm going, and I don't want to get stopped. And so I don't know, but again,
you play
like,
bravely default and turn off encounters when you don't want them.
And you can speed them up too.
Right.
Bravely default is amazing.
Because like in a lot of hack and slashes, I'll go out of my way to go make sure that I kill everything on the map. Like, I don't know.
I do that with Tails.
I can't. I don't know.
The Tails combat is so good. I love like Tails combat. I always grind way too much because I'm just like, I'm having fun killing everything. And you get your cool little skits at the end where they like banter with each other at the end of the battle, and you want to see them all. You switch around characters. I'll do the thing in Tales where I like plays the other characters too, to see if I like how any of them play.
I usually end up playing JRPGs fairly low level.
Oh no, Mal. Oh god.
Going as low as possible.
You beat Super Mario RPG at like level 3, right?
I've never played Super Mario.
Oh man, it's good. You need to play that. You need to play it. It's a classic. It's a must play, dude. It's a must play.
I don't know that I would say it's a must play. I really don't.
I would. It's good.
So are there any games you've put up for way too long with probably, Tets, that you just ended up eventually dropping? You just kept trying to make yourself play?
Final Fantasy 10 and 10 too. I got very close to the end of those. Final Fantasy Worlds recently I had gotten in GameFly, and I got a good, not like crazily into it, but I got a good ways into it. But I recognized that I was very much like, it was like, I need to play this game so that way I can send it back to GameFly to get the next game, because I need to play the next game. Like, it was almost like it was a chore to get through it, and that's, you shouldn't play video games just because that's a chore. You should be having fun.
Should. Well, you shouldn't force yourself to try and like gameplay you don't like.
Yeah.
As well, so.
And I mean, like, to be fair, for me it is a matter of let me give it a chance, because again, I do have all of these random exceptions to the rule, so I'm always willing to give something a shot just in case. But there's
Tets is the guy whose favorite Final Fantasy game is Vagrant Story.
Right now it's Final Fantasy 15, but I know a lot of people hate it. It's a horrible Final Fantasy
love 15.
game.
Those people are wrong. We've talked about this. Noctis in Tekken. He's in Tekken now. He's live. Your boy, the king, the best video game character of all time.
That's
one that I didn't play through, but I did watch through almost all of it, if not finished it. I don't remember if I finished it or not. Was Legend of Dragoon. Because that was one where I was really invested in the story of.
That's a good one.
I don't think I ever played it, but I definitely watched it.
Yeah, well, yeah, you definitely watched me play it back in the day.
Another good one would be Chrono Cross. Has not a lot of grinding at all, because you get all your important level ups from bosses. You get all your important level ups from bosses. So you literally do not have to grind at all. And it's just an amazing game.
Random confession tangent. Every time people talk about Chrono Cross, in my mind, I have to stop and think and separate it from Chrono Trigger, and then Dino Crisis always wants to throw it.
Dino Crisis.
And I have no idea why my brain is
Turok the Dinosaur Hunter.
These things.
It's because the games have dinosaurs in them. Oh my god.
I guess. I don't know.
You just love dinosaurs.
I do. I was definitely a 90s child. I loved all the dinosaurs.
For my genre, I thought I was going to go fighting games, but I think MOBAs actually are my answer. MOBAs seem like a genre of game that is completely up my alley because they look interesting when you watch people play them. They got all these cool characters and stuff like that. You got your waifus and all that good stuff, and you're like co-op, team-based, like playing with the boys kind of like feel. I think it's just more like I know I would be like a really bad scrub at them, and none of my friends have any interest in playing them. I don't just want to pick up and play with random people. And the gameplay just really doesn't seem that super interesting to me. It's more like the aesthetic of a lot of the MOBA games that I'm more into than anything. It's like, oh, your cool ultimates and who takes the point and who's in the middle and who's back or whatever, and everybody has like a different role to play. It's like, oh yeah, this is cool, and all the moves look cool and stuff's going on, and oh god, and it's like an esport and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I've never played one. I've never gotten into one. I've had a budding interest in playing one, but again, my friends just would never play with me.
Yeah, I used to play League back, way back in the day. Now, when it first started, with a buddy. Multiplayer games for me mostly come down to, do I have friends that are playing it? If not, I don't care.
It's the same for me, basically.
Yeah.
I think I've had two MOBAs that I've really been interested in, and that is Smite, because camera angle, I feel more involved, and then I guess on the same level but not, For Honor. For Honor's a MOBA.
Yeah, kinda.
I guess. I mean, it's not. I don't think it really completely qualifies.
It has similar.
It really isn't, but it's enough where I
similar gameplay.
Yeah, it's got similarities, but it's not the traditional
The aesthetic's completely different.
Dota clone.
Yeah. It's not your push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and have your followers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't really have a genre, I guess, so much. From one game in particular, though, is The Witcher 3. Actually,
I haven't tried to pick it up yet. I'm afraid
I love
to.
1 and 2.
And 3's supposed to be a lot different, right?
Right. One's especially dated now, but I really like 2. And then I really tried to get through 3. I don't know, something about it. I played it for a very long time, or I guess, I don't know. It's probably part of the reason why I've stopped doing side quests so much in the larger games like that. Because I took a lot of
the blame, right?
Right. I got to the island, which is the third part of the game, the third major leg of the quest. With the berserkers or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just no more. How many hours did you get into it?
I don't know. A lot. Maybe 40, probably. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look, but it was
about as much as any normal game.
Right, and I don't know how. I think I was fairly at least in the main story. I think it was getting fairly up there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, I don't know. I love the lore they use and stuff, because it's a bit more than just the known European mythology stuff.
Yeah,
some of the monsters and stuff they use. But I also just have never been super big into the gritty dark fantasy stuff.
Yeah,
especially
which it definitely is more of.
Oh yeah,
as far as I understand it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And this comes across I don't read it either. Most of the fantasy novels I read are not the dark gritty fantasy, and so that probably didn't help. But I really like 2, and just 3 I could not get through.
What is super different about 2 and 3? Because I've heard people say they're different, but
Well, 3 is open world.
Okay.
2 is not really. Like it's big
but
levels.
It's just smaller scale.
Way more confined. Like you go like there's the starting area, and then you end up having to travel to a whole other area, so you can't get back to the first area. Like they're not connected.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
And the combat, like I've only played 1 and 3, but and again I know 1 is much more dated, but
yeah, 1's combat is pretty awful.
Yeah, it's The Witcher isn't a hack and slash. You do kind of have to think through, but it also kind of is a hack and like you could theoretically get by just button mashing, just being a little cognizant of the buttons. But in 1, the combat is so bad. Like while you might be able to do that and muddle through it, the actual mechanics that are, or the coding and stuff, it is so clunky and awkward. You really can't.
There are mods for the PC versions for at least I know 1 and 2 that make the combat better.
How's the combat like different in between 3 and 2? Because I think that's what I saw people saying, but
I think it is more streamlined from between. Like I think combat is better in 3. Like that's not a big deal for me. Like that wasn't something I didn't.
It's all the story and like the world for you, kind of.
Yeah, I think I'm just. I mean, it also. I think I just don't care for open world so much anymore.
Yep.
No, I still love Skyrim.
And Final Fantasy 15, the greatest open world game of all time. It's also the greatest fighting game, the greatest platformer. It's got platforming in it.
I mean, you can play through its Promptu story, and now it's a shooter.
Yep, it's a first-person shooter. It's a MOBA too. It's a Monster Hunter clone. It's got all kinds of stuff.
I have to stop you before I have to jump through this internet and slit a throat.
It's so many genres. That's just part of why it's the greatest game of all time. So.
Is it a racing
every
game?
time?
You can't drive the damn car.
Go off road. You can go off road now, and you can fly it.
Yeah.
You've been able to fly it since the game came out, though, but still.
Sounds right.
Take it off road. It's actually fun to take off road. But anyways,
the upgrade to give you the big tires.
Yeah, they look goofy, and I think like even Gladiolus is like, "Oh, this looks weird" or something like that when you do it. It's kind of funny, but anyways. All right, let's get on to your topic, Tets. What do you got?